What it do, baby? Welcome to Vegeta Saiyan Army. Thank you guys for liking, watching, and subscribe. Welcome to Vegeta Saiyan Army. What's good? On the man's down here, as you can see behind me, I'm not on Namek anymore. I'm back on Earth. I'm back in my room. And over here to your left, if you're watching, that way, that's Josh, the other Vegeta Saiyan Army boy. The general, Manny, you can't see him right now because he's on a call, but he's at work. He's in the middle of a meeting call at work, and he's pretending that I'm the gay.
Yo, I'll get those reports for you.
Yeah, I'm your doc. Yeah, I'm his doctor, but he's got his headphones on, so it's all good. So look, if you're watching this video from home right now, and you want to play, Red next set, whenever you want to play Red, look at my finger. This is a video for you. Red Goku deck profile coming up. So when the deck was revealed, I had already made up my mind to switch on yellow, black. So Josh here, Vegeta Saiyan Army boy, he's been playing Red like it's nobody fucking business. He's been just raw dogging this deck. So if you want to play Red Goku, let me switch up here, pull up the leader. For those of you that don't know, Son Goku, the red leader, everybody knows you can't overroam or send your cards from the drop to your warp. When he attacks, you draw one on the front. He's got the burst that draws a card, and then you discard one of your cards, and then you awaken at 4 or less life, or if you have 7 or more, use 7 cards in your drop area. The front side's pretty powerful. You still can't warp stuff, but you still have the draw, and then you place up to 3 cards from the top of your deck in your drop area. And on the Sparking 20, you get to add a Universe 7 from the drop area to your hand once per game. So what we're going to do now is, again, at the time of the recording and possibly posting this video, I haven't played a lot of Red. So Josh, I'm going to bring it up to you now. I'm showing them your deck list. What are your thoughts? What is different? For anybody watching, right? If somebody's new, Josh, and somebody wants to play Red this set, and they pick Goku, what are some advices as a pretty experienced player on Red, especially, that you'd give them? Given this, oh, by the way, the secret rare is not Goku Frieza; it's the new Vegeta. All right, Josh, go ahead.
So yeah, like everybody knows, I'm the Red player of the team. I've been playing Red for a really long time. I got stuck on the Red Broly decks and the King Piccolo decks, and we all wanted to play Yellow Icarus last set, but it's time to go back home. And I've been really putting in the work on this U7 Goku deck. If anybody's new with this deck, I recommend you spend a lot of time with it before you feel confident with it, because there's a lot of things that this deck can do. But there's a lot of times that people watch me play, because there's a lot of team players that have been watching me play the couple of last days. And there's things that they'll be like, wow, why didn't you do this or why didn't you do that? Because, just because you can doesn't mean you should. And I feel like this Red deck particularly is going to gear more towards control. So if you're new to this deck in particular, I would just say you're going to have to get a lot of experience with it. You're going to have to get used to your sequencing of things. And comboing into things is a big thing about this deck too. Red is all math, I feel.
Right, a lot of negging, a lot of knowing how much energy you're going to use on your turn as opposed to theirs, because you're going to need stuff for their turn. Off the bat, if I'm building this deck and I'm new, I don't know anything about Red, I think my first question, and I know the answer, but I want you to tell it to everybody else, what do you think about people questioning why you have 4 after image techniques?
So the reasoning behind After Image being at 4 in this particular deck is we're playing a Sparking deck again, and they're making this card good. With the Goku U7 leader, on turn 1 you're gonna have 4 in your drop, and you have the ability to combo one more card if you really want to. So you could turn Sparking on turn 1 if you really want, and that's if you're attacking. By turn 2, it's going to be live the rest of the game. And After Image to me is like one of those free negates that just stops the attack. They're not going to combo into it. And a lot of these new decks that come out, they're playing chains that need smaller cards to be on the field first. So sniping a 10k comes really, really in handy in this next set.
So Manny, did you play against my man's Josh recently or no?
Yeah, I got the privilege and honor to get mollywopped by this deck. I was severely underestimating it. I was thinking at first it was very much a aggro deck, but with what Josh was playing, it actually seemed like a really good mid-range grindy deck that a lot of players seem to like and enjoy playing.
I think that it's one thing to build a deck and then talk about how you built it, and then having somebody that played it talk about it. So like when you see another player play a card, it's like, oh right, like if somebody played the Vegeta 4-drop on me, I'm like, damn, that's, I mean, it does nick two things, ignoring barrier. It does have critical. I think it draws a card as well. It's a pretty
Yeah,
powerful card, right? Is there any cards that you saw him play, Manny, that you thought were good or did good against you? And you were playing yellow, so like obviously he's got to play it a little different against you.
Yeah, I was playing a lot of the good yellow staples and stuff like that, but what seemed really reliable was the Frieza and the Android 17.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those two cards, I think, really give the deck a real good, resilient advantage against a lot of these like low to the ground aggressive decks.
Yeah, and again, so the Frieza here is dual attack if you have Sparking 7, and it's going to come out for 1 energy to 19k. So, I mean, that's a lot of good value for 1. I'm somebody that I nauseatingly always repeat myself when I say that, like, I measure energy. Like, I want 1 energy to do a lot. I want 2 energy to be busted. Like, and if it's free, then I'm definitely... That's why King Piccolo New Ruler is, like, one of my favorite cards in red. I want a lot for my energy, and Golden Frieza gives you 2 19k attacks, and a card, and it doesn't have unique either. Like, I mean, you can only play 1 per turn, obviously, and it's the same thing with Android 17. It doesn't have unique. It's a 1-drop double strike, and if you have it for more than 1 turn, like, it's an extremely good card because it's gonna search you your super combo or whatever you want, like, every turn. Oh wait, I'm sorry. Is the limit 1 is to play it?
Yeah, just
and
to
then
play
when it
it
attacks, it's all.
yeah.
So you can have 2 of them, and they both attack and they both draw, but you can only play it once per turn. I understand. Yeah. So I mean, the deck is full of good stuff, and we're gonna have a separate video for every color. That's gonna talk about what color is what decks are good for each color and what strategies are good for each color. And I think this deck is gonna be heavily talked about when it comes to the red video because. I do hope red takes over again because red is my favorite color as well, and like you said, I want to come back home as well.
Yes.
3, like I see the best cards in red here, like Chrono Retribution and Son Goku Divine Presence are, I think, the 2 best like staple red cards. Champa's here, King Piccolo New Ruler. People are seeing, I'm sure, Koichikai here, 3 of like that just got reprinted. Like buy them. Like if you're thinking about any card that's a staple.
I literally just bought all the quotes I could at 5 apiece, and they doubled in the last week.
Jesus. All right, so tell me about Koichikai. What matchups do you think you'd use that in?
Honestly, Koichikai comes in handy every single match. Because in this next set, they have every color is playing cards on your turn now, whether it be a negate, whether it be an arrival, whether it be a counterplay. There's always going to be somebody playing something on your turn in every single deck now.
And
so Koichikai,
is
probably like the best card in the deck.
Yeah, at worst, it like filters your hand, right? So like, I mean,
yes.
at the base of it. The only thing I would maybe say, I guess, is like, this is like Vegex in a lot of ways, especially in the way that like, and when I compare, and I'm talking about deck building alone, because if you want to see something in Vegex, you have to run it at 4 of, unfortunately. So like, King Piccolo New Ruler, like as great as he is, you gotta see it.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like you have to see.
But when you see it, it's very strong.
Of course, right. I would put Champa at 2 in his deck because Champa is my favorite. Like Champa is the best card in the game, and I would just put it at 2 just because it's amazing. But again, there's like, I'd say there's room in here, but at the same time, it's refreshing to see a red deck that's starting to lose room, because I think red's library is like pathetic compared to yellow, compared to black. And I'm glad that one thing the set's doing right is giving some good support to red and green. So I'm glad you have 60 cards here, and each card is like a good card that I can think of being really helpful. So, do you have any closing thoughts at all about this deck, Josh?
So I want to go into just like the little text that I put in that I don't think many people were running.
Yeah.
A lot of the people I saw that were building it, like even Giancarlo was trying to help me with the deck, and he was kind of gearing it more towards like the Gohan Ultimate Essence skill list package, drawing more cards, getting more value off your cards that, you know, can combo on top of skill list. But I started playing that and I really didn't like it. So I started adding cards that, like you said, they just do way more when they're played. So keeping Topo at 3, you're stopping your aggro decks. And I like the tech that I just started trying out is the Vegito Unison. So it gives you almost more than like one win con. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So there's a lot of cool little things that I think they're about this deck, and I think red is going to be in a good spot coming up.
That's interesting, because if this becomes the best deck and I have to play it, my first build of it would be obviously you have to run one secret rare, but one secret rare, one Son Goku Ultra Mastery, and I would run the skillless package to try and do as much damage as possible. But maybe that's the aggro player in me that's incorrect about how to run this deck. I feel like going aggro is just like a knee-jerk reaction, especially for like a red player. And then like if they're still alive, turn 4, then summon, you know, either the secret rare or the A drop by using like the activate main. That activate main is cool. It's like a last resort of like, I haven't seen my guy, so let me just get him and play my bomb, right? So I like that a lot. But what was I gonna say? So yeah, Manny, any thoughts at all on the deck on red? I know you play red a lot, so anything different you see in his deck compared to other red decks, or what are your thoughts?
So this deck kind of reminds me like the mid-game range of like the old school pan of just being able to +2 early, you know, get a bunch of value and just have like good resilient threats on board all throughout your curve, as well as even if you mill over a key piece of your combo. I saw Josh kind of like using the leader effect to maybe get back the SER or maybe that big Goku UI. That's a fucking powerhouse. It itself is almost like a fucking SER itself, you know? It's really cool to see all this U7 support and getting its, you know, day in the sunlight. And, you know, hopefully once tournaments start up again, we'll see more of it.
And you know what's funny? I just thought of something that like Yamcha is here, but he's not U7. Which is funny, I mean, he didn't go to the Tournament of Power, so like it makes sense. Sorry, I just thought of that, but another thing you can do is like if you're going for a game, like you can just grab a super combo that you may have milled, so like you don't have to grab the bomb, right?
Yeah, so like even on the decks where you're fearing a crackback, you can go into your drop area and just be like, okay, I have my SCR in hand, or I have Goku in hand. As long as I can survive this next turn, I win. I'm just gonna grab a super combo, and then like. I just want to touch on how good Vegeta is. Like, I know that you were like kind of tossed on a card for a little bit, and how tapping 4 is a little too much. But I really feel like that card is the strongest card printed since, like, it's along the same lines of like Apex. Like when you play the card, you know you're gonna win.
That's true. I mean, Apex is one of those where like, right, it has the Fu Strider effect, and
not only that, like,
yeah.
So I don't want to cut you off, but not only that, like, so I've been playing games where sometimes you have the defense in hand, but you don't have a way to remove their board in their unison. And sometimes just getting them to 2 life by popping Vegeta and not even swinging, because like Strats is going to be in the sideboard, of course, for blue matches and black matches. But like you can literally just use that as a 4-drop board clear, negs the leader for 5k the entire turn. And you don't have to worry about the unison anymore, and you burned them a damage. So next turn you just play Goku and win.
Yeah. So and again, the SCR I've always known was powerful. I just feel like tapping 4 is only a thing that you can do in this deck. Like you're not running this on any other red deck. Like on Bomar Piccolo, I feel like you're playing Pan or Kai over that.
I feel like in Piccolo you could play this, but like
I mean you could. Oh yeah, you can play it on anyone, but
yeah, it doesn't have enough life. Like Goku's,
yeah.
I've won games at 8 life with this deck.
Right. And if you like, I mean, I would never, but the Frieza Goku is another option, which might be cheaper than the Vegeta. I don't know. And the Vegeta does have, and by the way, this is relevant to talk about here, but like, I always talk about the Vegeta's lineage, and he's an 8-drop. I mean, I only say it's relevant now because, I mean, U7 cards do have lineage for Vegeta. So, like, if they do make a swap package, it might work with this leader too. So, like, that's one of the reasons I'm 100% buying that secret rare. Because if it gets the swap, which I'm pretty sure it might eventually, but that's going to be part of it. But again, like, I think this leader, if you're watching and you love red the way we do, I think this leader's it's going to be like the trailblazer to bring in red back. And it's going to be bringing red back in not as a broken way. Like King Vegeta was too broken, and it wasn't good for red. Yeah. Like, it put red on the map, but it made us kind of look bad. It was just like it got banned immediately. It wasn't like Mecha, like, you know, yellow's been busted over time, but like King Vegeta was a little too much, and he got banned immediately. So like, I feel like this guy's doing it the right way, if that makes sense. I don't know, it sounds weird, but like, this is a good deck. It's not tier 0, I don't think. I mean, you're paying for your cards. It's not like Vegex. You're not, you know, they're not coming out for free. You're paying energy. Your bomb costs 4, so I mean, but they're strong. Like, they have deflect, or if they cost 1, I mean, they're really value. Like, it's a 19k dual attack, or like 15k double, right? Exactly. So you have, so the cheap shit and the free shit is like, I think, and when I say fair, I don't say this in a bad way, but this is like, if I lose to this deck, I'm like, good game. I'm not going to be salty, like, oh shit, like, you're playing, you know what I mean? And again, and we'll talk about this on the next video, but we'll see if something happens to yellow and red. I'm sorry, to yellow and black, like, this could 100% be the best deck in the game, depending on how it comes out.
And we have not seen the promos yet. And I've been saying this since Christmas. We're gonna get a promo for this deck, and I feel like it's either gonna be a burst play promo or a cheap 1-drop that does something again.
Yeah, it's 100%. Like, it's gonna definitely get like a Majin Buu. It's not a Majin Buu. Who else was in the tournament? Tien. Who else was?
Masaroshi calling it out.
Masaroshi, right. Masaroshi. There's Tien.
Give us a 1-drop U7 Topo like they did for Black.
Yeah, I mean, well, okay, but Red already has a free Topo in Red. It's like, I mean, you can use card, but I know what you mean. But you just
give us a Xenopan.
Yeah, you getting greedy, cool. Yeah. Oh, so you're saying all of the Xenopan, right? I see what you mean.
Bro, bring back Patara Unisons for Fusion.
But I'm gonna say, all right. So yeah. So again, if you're oh, by the way, so let me get this straight. So turn 1 is the 1-drop Gohan, right? Usually.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. So turn 1, you're gonna play Ultimate Essence,
and that's
you're gonna search the top 5.
Yeah.
You're gonna look for your Piccolo Unison. So you grab that, you swing with your lead, you draw another card, you do your burst effect. You get 4 in the drop, you pass. Turn 2, you're gonna drop Piccolo Unison.
Right, that makes sense. And I feel like the only reason we have this Gohan here is because like it's a really it searches your whole deck, but like
super combos, Vegeta, Goku, anybody. Right, it's so good.
Right, but you don't have a lot of turn 1s here, do you?
Just Gohan.
Right.
So like I've actually like even turn 1, it's like it is whatever because. You're going to want to take those life anyways if they're swinging at you turn 1. You want to get as many cards in your hand as you can to have the advantage in the game. Like there was a game I played against that new Vegeta Gogeta deck where he had 9 cards in his hand because I kept swinging at his Unison so he couldn't get his Activate Battle Step. And I just kept drawing cards. I had 17 to his 9 at one point.
Right, and then once you have 3 energy, you can really tell yourself like, well, I can use 1 energy for Android 17, 1 energy for Golden Frieza, leave 1 up for a free after image and a violent raise maybe. Like, I mean, you have a lot of options with your energy where like you can really do like whatever the fuck you want. And then turn 4, I mean, if you don't play a bomb on turn 4, 4 energy is so much to do with your cheap energy.
You go low to the ground, you tap Koitsukai before you do anything, and you hit them.
Right, because I mean, if you do Koitsukai, you still have 3 energy to do an Android, a Golden Frieza. Like, you know, you can do what's his name, Broly Crown, and then you still have like Yamcha counterplay, testing the after image, like.
And what I want to touch up on is like, so the biggest thing I feel like with this deck that makes it like you can go the long game is the Piccolo Unison, because when you drop that turn 2, this is what I've been telling people. When you drop that turn 2, if they don't get rid of that on their turn 2, which takes a lot of resources, and you have after image, remember, so you can literally just negate like the one attack when they're get it to 2 or whatever, and then just negate the other one. So it's like you can protect that Unison, and if they don't get rid of that, that's free card draw the rest of the game.
I feel like after image is in a weird way. Well, not really, but in a weird way, it might be a better Wolfang Fist in this deck and only on this deck, and not really, but only sometimes, if that makes sense. Because Wolfang Fist does something that like not a lot of cards can do, as far as negging barrier. But after image is neat because it does give you a card from your life if they're not going to swing at life. Because they're not going to swing at your life, they're gonna get rid of Piccolo. Because I feel like a lot of colors can get rid of Piccolo, but if you have a card like After Image, it will defend it, or a card like Yamcha.
Right. So, for example, like the black decks that play thwarting, like they're gonna waste their entire turn trying to kill Piccolo. So you just avoided the double strike from thwarting, the strike from the leader, the strike from the Unison. Like I was playing John Lamont, and like it every time you play that Piccolo Unison, it's like, okay, I don't have to worry about them aggroing me now.
Right.
And then you just topo the next turns.
All right, so if you're watching, what do you guys think about the deck? What do you think about any red decks? What do you think about this list? Would you go lower to the ground? Would you go more defensive, try to play some big bombs? Let me know down below, and then we'll look out. We're gonna make a video basically for each color, saying like what are the best leaders coming into the next set. I want to see the rest of the cards first, but I am excited because I feel like the tables are turning as far as like what's strong on set 15 and what's gonna be strong on set 16 as far as what I'm seeing. So we'll see. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you, Manny. Thank you, Josh.
Shout out to the BSA boys, everybody helping me testing, Rod, Bruce, all you guys.
Obviously, Manny, you're the man. I love you, big dog.
Yo,
and
make sure you guys like all the new fucking memes we're about to drop. Shit's always heat.
That Vegeta Secret Rare, we can get memes off that alone now.
Yeah, of course, bro. I'm getting that. I want that card so fucking bad. It just looks beautiful.
I'm buying as many as I can at a good price.
Of the SCRs? All right, let me get one.
I got you.
Yo, slide in my dude's DMs real quick with those fucking prices.
No funny shit, but not Diego's DMs because he's got a joint account with his girl, so none of that. So that'd be weird. But y'all can slide in my DMs though. You hate to see it. All right, let's get it.